Matt for AVNation.tv. We are here in the Oblong booth at ISE 2019 in lovely Amsterdam. I'm here with Steve. Steve, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Doing fantastic. Thank you for having us into your booth.
Yeah.
It's day 3. We're almost done. We're almost at the end. Oblong has been a leader in your industry for a long, long time. But you've just, to be honest, you've had the coolest stuff forever.
Sure.
I've always loved coming in and talking to you. Today you're showing the new Mezzanine 200 that adds Webex Teams.
Yep.
1, sounds awesome.
Yep.
2, tell me a little bit more about how that happened and give us an overview on Mezzanine 200.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things that's really important for Oblong in Mezzanine is not to have Mezzanine as an island. So what's really critical for us and our customers is that we integrate with the UC platforms that they choose. So One of the key platforms out there, and one that we partner with heavily, is Cisco. Right. So we're showing here at ISE sort of our integration with all things Cisco WebEx, from the WebEx board to the WebEx room kits to WebEx Teams and WebEx meetings, all fully integrated with Mezzanine's unique capability to allow users to share multiple streams of data all at the same time in a virtual WebEx meeting.
Let's talk for a minute about why those partnerships are so important, because let's be fair, this industry for a long time has been plagued by closed systems that are locked down, and you can't bring in that third-party thing without a ridiculous complication for the end user, but also a whole lot of hardware to make that happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the things, if we wanted to just as a company have users adopt Mezzanine in a onesie, twosie fashion, these partnerships would not be necessary. But what we found is that customers really want to deploy this way of working, this way being with multiple streams of content, not just one piece of data at a time, but multiple pieces of data at a time. That it's critical and in fact required by enterprise IT departments that it integrates with what they have today, right? From a support perspective, from a management perspective, from a usability perspective, it's critical that it fits with what our customers have.
Once you add WebEx Teams into it, does that change the procedure and the usability of Mezzanine?
In fact, it makes it more, I would say, comfortable from a usability standpoint. Customers, Oblong is fairly new, and Mezzanine is certainly fairly new, and it's a new way of working for users. But most users know how to start a video call. They walk in and they can start a video call very easily. We don't want to change that. You walk in, you hold a meeting just the way you normally do, and then when you want to share multiple pieces of content, more than just one, which is the only thing a video conferencing industry has allowed for years, it just works. You pick up a wand, you use your laptop to share, you just wirelessly share it into a meeting, and away you go.
So is it essentially a fully seamless experience across the platform once you add Teams?
I think once you add integration with Teams and include the board, it's we're getting seamless, right? The whole idea is to make it frictionless, and we're getting closer and closer to frictionless. So anytime you do these integrations, one of the things that's important is that it seems natural to the user. So that's why our partnership with Cisco from a development perspective is so critical, because as we make enhancements, there's certain things that we need from Cisco, right? And so our tie-in between our development organizations is critical for making it a great user experience. Cisco's interested in that because obviously it's heavy Cisco audio and video, and they want to preserve that experience. They love this idea of multi-share on top of that. We are very interested in that because we want to tie into the market leader in video conferencing.
So does it complicate the life of the integrator when they start adding, because Mezzanine is a fairly simple thing to integrate and get deployed across multiple rooms, multiple locations. Once you add WebEx Teams, is that just adding complication on the back end?
No, I think for the integrator it simplifies things, right?
Really?
Mezzanine plus Cisco, we have focused a lot to allow our partners to deploy in a very repeatable fashion, room after room after room. A lot of the partners are used to coding and developing custom controllers, custom integrations and whatnot. This is very standardized out of the box. Cisco spent a lot of time on making it almost customer installable, right? And then Mezzanine is following along, right? So we want to make it as easy for our partners to be as successful as they can with their customers in a very repeatable fashion.
Okay, so let me kind of change topics slightly for a minute. With Mezzanine 200, is there any like what's the major difference between that and the rest of the Mezzanine line?
Sure. So for the longest time, you're familiar with Oblong. For the longest time, all we had was large rooms,
right?
Big war room type applications, right? Lots and lots of data, lots and lots of pixels. But one thing we found was that customers want to have that type of experience across their conference rooms in their enterprise.
Right.
There are millions of two-screen video conferencing rooms out there.
Yes, there are.
Right, so I want to be able to enable the millions of devices out there with multi-share, multiple screens. So the big difference is Mezzanine 200 is geared towards a very traditional video conferencing room, right, with that capability. In this case, we have the unique add of the Webex board,
right?
But this is just two screens. Again, millions of these devices out there. As users, companies have gone from the large rooms, they're like, okay, how do I deploy this across my enterprise? It's much like immersive telepresence. Right? So companies would deploy 20, 30 of the big, large
rooms,
immersive telepresence rooms. But what does Cisco sell most of? They sell mostly the room-based systems, just like this.
Exactly.
Right? So it's the same thing. We're following along that, right? We did the big immersive experiences. Now we're applying it to everyday workers.
Yeah, so we're essentially adding a ton of scalability so that it's consistent whether you're in that big boardroom or in a generic meeting room. Any feature loss going down to the generic?
No, it's just a matter of pixels, right? How many pixels do you want? But it's all the same capabilities are there. I can gesturally interact with it. I can share just as many pieces of content, right? It's just pixels, right?
Fantastic.
So this could be two 85-inch displays. It could be six 85-inch displays. It's all the same.
Fantastic. Excellent. So if somebody wants to get more information on Oblong in general, Mezzanine 200, as well as the new Webex Teams platform, where do they grab that information? Yeah,
sure. Just hit oblong.com/Cisco, and there's all sorts of information there. Also, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Steve Vobbe, and SVOBBE at oblong.com, and hit it.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Steve.
Yep, appreciate
your time. For more coverage from ISE 2019 and to learn more about AVNation, please visit avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.